Okay, so it should be streaming. I'm always a little, I've done this last like two times I've done these. If I accidentally create two streams, that's okay. Twice is, twice the chance to watch. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get right into it. This is a big deal. We've got an enhanced risk in that orange shade. The high risk is in that bright pink. This includes portions of eastern Iowa into central Indiana and kind of that northeast edge of Missouri. And then from Arkansas into the Memphis area, southwest corner of Tennessee, into northwest Mississippi, you've got the high risk there. Anybody in these shades could see damaging severe thunderstorms. But if you're in this orange and this pink, this is where that tornado threat really is going to be in play. We already have two watches out. This is what you call a particularly dangerous situation tornado watch. That's really aggressive language used by the Storm Prediction Center to say, hey, this is a big deal. And this one includes St. Louis, Memphis, Little Rock. This goes until 8 p.m. Central Time. And this means that any tornadoes that develop could be strong, long track. We're seeing supercells developing in this region. And you could also see winds gusting upwards of 70 miles an hour with these storms. And there have been instances already of some big hail. This is not our only PDS watch. We have one for Iowa, including Des Moines, Cedar Rapids, Peoria, Illinois, and Columbia, Missouri. So a lot of folks are included in this one as well. You need to be taking things very seriously. This goes until 8 o'clock. Now let's get a look at who's seeing the thunderstorms already. We have supercells here in Arkansas, and this is where we are mainly seeing the tornado warnings right now. And I'm double checking so that way you know what's going on. So, Hot Springs, you've got one's moving in toward Little Rock. And if you're in Little Rock, you need to be off the roads right now. We've got more little supercells here further to the north. You've got one kind of pushing to the northeast here. Batesville, you need to be on alert. Pretty much anyone in the path of these storms. But the two main cells I have concerns with right now are in Hot Springs, moving into Hot Springs right now, and then also into just west of the Little Rock region. And this is going to be along 30, along 40. These are heading your way. This is not the only area seeing supercells, seeing thunderstorms that are, kind of not good looking here on screen. But Arkansas is where we're seeing tornado warnings. This is where we're seeing those rotating supercells. Now, we've got some storms in East Texas that I've gotten going around Greenville there. You're going to see this in Bogota through Paris. And you've got some thunderstorms kind of in, the heart of Texas here near Corsicana. And we're going to be keeping an eye on these as well. You're also going to see severe weather, in portions of Louisiana up through, the Memphis area. This is going to be heading your way soon. Now, we've also had a little bit of convection ahead of this. That hasn't been severe, but you've got some lightning and rain in Bowling Green. Looks like we got some pretty powerful little storms here just north of the Boot Hill near the Cape Girardeau area in Missouri. And then you head north, and this is an area where I'm expecting development soon. Now, these are severe thunderstorms, but as of right now, as of the last time I looked, we're not seeing any tornado warnings yet. These are likely going to start spinning in the next hour. So, Cedar Rapids, Davenport, Peoria, Columbia, Missouri, you folks need to be weather aware and really paying attention. If you get a warning, even just a severe thunderstorm warning, you need to be indoors because these can produce winds gusting upwards of 70, 75 miles an hour. But once you get a tornado warning, be in your safe spot. These are moving very quickly. These are moving at highway speeds. We're seeing, storms, supercells that are moving 50, 60 miles an hour. You can't really outrun that. So stay off the roads. Get to your safe spot as soon as a warning is in place, a tornado warning. You want to be in the lowest level of your home. Interior closets, bathrooms are the best options. And you want as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Now, it's a good time to also, if thunderstorms are imminent, if you're under a watch, which a good portion of you folks are, if you're under the watch, that means that conditions are really favorable for tornadoes. If you're under a warning, that means that, there's possibly a tornado, and or a tornado has been spotted, or it's radar indicated, it's showing debris, that sort of thing. You need to be in your safe space, and I would say have shoes on. I know that sounds kind of silly, but if you end up getting hit by a tornado, trying to get out into the damage is really difficult. Having shoes is going to be a big deal because you don't want your feet to get cut by glass. And I've spoken to so many people who have survived tornadoes, and they always say, I wish I had had shoes on. So please put your shoes on, grab a helmet, and just stay weather aware, because this is a big, big deal over the next few hours. So speaking of the forecast, notice as we go into the afternoon, you still got some supercells, but what you're going to see as we head into the evening hours is all of these storms forming into a big, powerful line. Now, you'll likely still see some tornadoes embedded within this line, but I would say an even bigger threat by this point is going to be damaging winds. Yeah, we're going to see some really gusty winds with this, 60, 70, 75 miles an hour. And that can do a lot of damage, give you a lot of power outages. And this continues into tonight. So if you're in, kind of Mississippi, Alabama, into Tennessee, up through Kentucky, even up into Ohio, that's going to be the main threat overnight. So a lot of folks are going to be asleep. Yes, you still have a tornado threat, but you also have a really big wind threat. Have a way to wake up. You need alerts loud enough to wake you up. Turn on your weather and radar app alerts as well. Now's a great time to do that. Just know that, you're still going to see thunderstorms into the early morning hours. And then as we head into tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, could see some strong storms in Pennsylvania, into the New York area. And then these thunderstorms kind of push through the southeast and along the coastal areas. We could see some severe weather. Now, the threat's not quite as great, but it's still there. Right now, though, the big concern is these storms that have been pushing up through Arkansas. Arkansas right now, the tornado threat is happening. Please be alert. Little Rock through Memphis. You folks are really going to start to see things getting active in the next hour or two. Little Rock really right now. And these are supercells. They're by themselves, so they can spin, they can tap into all of the instability. There's nothing that's going to stop them. And that's kind of scary. But I don't want you to be scared. I want you to be prepared for what's coming your way. And if you head to the Weather and Radar website, this is what we're doing. We've got a live blog going with the latest information. We're posting about the particularly dangerous situations, the tornado watches, and we're here to keep you as safe as possible and to give you those latest updates. So that way you know what's going on in your neck of the woods and what's going on in the next few hours. So we've got that live blog going. Check it out. We've got our weather radar. You can check this out at any time as well. You can also see things like wind and lightning. That's going to come in handy. Even outside of these thunderstorms, the winds are rocking 40, 50 mile an hour wind gusts. Just period. So we've got plenty of wind advisories. We've got red flag warnings out west behind the system. A lot of the action's happening along the front, but behind the front as well. There's still some pretty big risk, even though, it's more of a fire risk behind all this action. Still a big risk. Now we also have quite a bit of thunder snow in South Dakota. You're going to see about a foot of snow in some parts of Dakota, up through, even into Minnesota, in South Dakota, up through there. This is going to be a big deal too, all this snow. There's blizzard warnings in effect. You got some high winds. So, we haven't forgotten about that, but we're just really focused also on the severe weather threat. But you've got this big snow threat in behind this also. So that's another thing that's going to be happening through the weekend, into tomorrow. But yeah, kind of impressive to see thunder snow like that. I'm going to see if I can get some pictures, some video of that. But right now, Arkansas especially seeing supercell development up through Missouri into Illinois, into Iowa. Kind of this little corridor right here is where you need to be really paying close attention. And here's the other look. This moderate risk is kind of shifted as well a little further to the east toward Indianapolis. It looks like it's including a lot of different spots, including Jackson, not quite into Nashville. Nashville, we're still under the enhanced risk. I'm here in Nashville, so I'm paying attention to that. But this is a huge area that could see tornadoes. And if you're in this hatched area right here, that means the tornadoes could be strong. They could be long track tornadoes. It's a lot to deal with. We want to make sure you stay safe. So head over to our live blog on weatherandradar.com and keep it here for the latest information, because we're going to do our best to make sure that you stay safe in this event. I know it can be scary, but being prepared is a lot better than being scared. If you're in a mobile home and you're in that hatched area, and this includes a lot of folks here, basically what you need to do is seek shelter somewhere else. A storm shelter, a friend's house. If they have a basement, that's great, but you want to be somewhere sturdy. Mobile homes are not safe in tornadoes, period. So please stay alert. We're going to be here with you, keeping you up to date. And yeah, so right now it looks like we have mainly the tornadoes in, or the tornado warnings, I should say, in Arkansas. Looks like we've got one kind of really close to Little Rock. This cell could be producing a tornado, and you can see, you know, that lightning with it. Got some supercells with that. You've got this one also up here, not too far off from the Greenbrier area, possibly producing a tornado. The other thing we're going to be watching is these storms a little further to the north. And what we're seeing now is also, you know, closer to areas up here in Iowa, into Illinois. These areas I'm really going to be paying attention to in the next few hours. This one, this cell right here near Princeton, kind of just west of Unionville, also potentially producing a tornado right now. It's got some spin with it. We're going to be watching that really carefully. So keep an eye on the weather radar. This is just going to get more active. Look at all these supercells developing. They're out by themselves. They tap into all that instability. All of the dynamics, the thermodynamics have come together to produce a really dangerous day and night for a lot of folks. So please keep it here. Head to weatherandradar.com and download that Weather and Radar app. Our team of expert meteorologists, we're going to be here through this entire event, keeping you as safe as possible. So thanks for watching, and please stay safe.